Hey, everybody, I'm here with a quick story on Starbucks. There's an ex Starbucks manager that accused the company of reverse racial discrimination. She's white, and she said, I got fired because of the color of my skin. And not only did the jury believe her, they sided with her and they awarded her $25 million, people. $25 million. Now, if you're a Starbucks goer like me, okay, their coffee is already expensive. How much you think it's going to cost now? They're going to have to find some way to recoup this money. And guess what? I see Dunkin' Donuts in the horizon because there's no way on this earth I'm about to pay $10 for a cup of coffee. Now, we're going to get into this story, everybody, right after this. Now, hey, everybody, we're going to get right into this story. If you're from the area like Tri State, New Jersey, Philadelphia, New York area, you may have remembered this story, okay, about these two young men that were sitting in a Starbucks waiting for a friend. Was asked to leave the table. They didn't leave, but they didn't purchase anything from Starbucks yet. Cops were called on them. They was clinked and heads had to roll because the community was outraged. Now we're going to get into this story really quickly. Okay. It says Starbucks manager wins a $25.6 million lawsuit after arguing she was fired for being white. Shannon Phillips fired after Dante Robinson and Rashawn Nelson arrested at a Philadelphia Starbucks. Okay. So a Starbucks manager won a $25.6 million verdict Friday after she accused the corporation of firing her for being white in response to a national backlash over the arrest of two black men at one of its Philadelphia cafes. And when I say it was backlash, whoo, it was heated and heavy, okay? A New Jersey federal jury decided in favor of Shannon Phillips, who sued Starbucks in 2019 over allegations of racial bias and discrimination, according to the court filings. It took the 8-member panel nearly 5 hours to award her $25 million in punitive damages and $600,000 in compensatory damages to Phyllis, determining that her skin color played a decisive role in her termination. Phillips, who worked for Starbucks for 13 years and oversaw roughly 100 cafes, was fired less than a month after Dante Robinson and Rashawn Nelson were arrested at a Spruce Street store on April 12, 2018, for refusing to leave a table. Now, the incident captured on cell phone video quickly went viral, and Starbucks faced intense scrutiny for the treatment of black men, who they said were waiting for a business associate and hadn't ordered anything when the manager called the Philadelphia police on them. Phillips was not present. So you'll understand that she was not the manager that called the cops on these young men. So you know it is kind of messy, right? We got to call a spade a spade. Another manager called, but she is was the regional manager who oversaw all the managers. So I guess they was indirectly blaming her for not preparing the people underneath her to know how to handle racial situations. Okay, this is a lot, people. To quell the racial firestorm, the chain apologized and closed 8,000 U.S. stores early for racial bias training. Okay. And her attorney said she told the jurors in closing arguments during the civil trial that began on June 5th that the company was looking for a sacrificial lamb and to show it was taking action after the arrest, Law 360 reported. She reminded jurors of the testimony of the district manager, Paul Sykes, who is black, and reported to Phillips. You know, Paul better watch out. He may lose his job now, too. Okay. So another person that worked underneath her, who is black, said, listen, this chick ain't racist. I'm black, and I'm telling you that. Before she got fired, we all loved her.
Finishing
Okay.
your degree.
Okay, I hope I don't get dinged for that really quickly. So Starbucks attorney Richard Harris counted that Phillips lacked the necessary leadership skills needed at the time of the crisis and that she had been replaced with a white regional manager. So they saying, look, we're not being racist. We didn't fire her just because of the color of skin. When we replaced her, we replaced her with somebody else that was white, and that person just had the skills she lacked and we needed to take the people to the promised land, so to speak, and make sure they understand how to treat everybody, every customer that comes to Starbucks equally. A peacetime leader is very different from a wartime leader, the Starbucks lawyer said. These were turbulent times. Starbucks needed someone to show strength and resolution, Harris told the panel. So that's what the Starbucks lawyer said. No, she didn't get fired because of color of skin. She got fired because she lacked the knowledge we needed to make sure that these people don't do this situation again. Now, the two gentlemen that got arrested, they had already closed their own their own civil case against Starbucks, and their amount that they settled for was undisclosed. Hope they got more than 25 million. So Robinson and Nelson reached an undisclosed financial settlement with Starbucks about 3 weeks after their arrest. Now, listen, if you're a Starbucks goer, one thing I could tell you for sure. Now, those are the two gentlemen again that were arrested, and they did absolutely nothing except make a purchase. They didn't make a purchase, and they didn't make a purchase at the moment. You know how when you go to restaurants now, Starbucks is not no sit down restaurant, but you know how when you go down a sit down restaurant, usually they won't seat you until all of your party is there, right? But sometimes you can convince them like, oh, she right around the corner. We'll place our order. Can you just give us our table? So they were simply saying we're waiting for one other person. Then we're gonna go order, I guess. But either way, they got arrested. They won some money, and now this Shannon, she got her $25 million. Okay, like I said, Starbucks is going to need a way to recoup those funds. Not on my dime. Not on my dime. And y'all know I love me some Starbucks, but not on my dime. So listen, guys, chat with me in the comments and let me know your thoughts, okay? She feels, and the jury believed her and sided with her, that the only reason why they fired her was because the color of her skin, okay, kind of reverse racial discrimination. And Starbucks is saying, no, we fired her because she didn't have the knowledge or the skills to do what we needed to get done at the time. What are your thoughts? Do you think Starbucks owed this woman the 25 million? Or do you think she just hit the Starbucks lotto and she didn't deserve it? That's our question for today. Listen, guys, if you're not a subscriber, subscribe, hit that notification bell so that every time I upload a video, you will be notified. If you are a subscriber, thank you for coming back. And for all of you out there, hit that like button. Listen, guys, I'll see you on the next video. Happy Saturday. Have a good weekend. Bye, guys.